Is this thing on? Yes, it is. Wow. First live stream I've done since what? September? October? Let me check. Just to kill some time before people come in. Hopefully they come in. uh October 14th was the date when I last did a stream. Well, hello Tame. It's been a while since I've seen you in any of these streams. How are you doing today? Ever played Hollow Knight? No. I heard of it, but I haven't played it. Hello, EcoPunk. Doing good. It's so good. Maybe I should try it out. Currently, I'm playing God of War Ragnarok. I just started it last night. I like it so far. I enjoyed the 2018 game, though. I do prefer the original God of War trilogy more. Just like the gameplay of the original games more than the you know. Hello, Dylan. How you doing? Also, yesterday I finished a game called Callisto Protocol, which you probably have heard of. I liked it. A lot of people hate that game, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, now that I'm on break from the semester, all I got is time on my hands, just playing games and shit. Oh, I haven't played anything yet today, because I woke up like an hour ago, had breakfast, and here I am streaming. Just felt like doing a stream today. Apologies for no stream in December. Uh, November, as you probably know, I didn't do a stream because I got really fucking ill. And, you know, I was planning on doing a stream that week, and then I got really fucking sick, and, I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do a stream." And then the following week was Thanksgiving, so I didn't wanna stream on that week. The reason I didn't do one in December is because laziness, I guess, I don't know. Well, actually, the day wanted to do a stream, well, the day before, which I wanted to do a stream around, I think December 16th or something like that. The day before, I was like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to do a stream. And then that night, I had a horrible fucking sleep. I overslept. I woke up at like 4 in the afternoon. I don't know why I had a horrible sleep that night, but I did. And I was still contemplating whether or not I should do a stream on that day, and I was like, "Nah, not feeling it." So, here I am in January doing a finally doing another stream. Oh, yeah, happy Insurrection Day. It's January 6th, 2022. 2023, god. Um, 2 years since, j you know, Capitol riot. Can you believe that well, it's not really that unbelievable to me, but right wingers are still trying to say that was a peaceful protest. We just have concerns over the direction this country is going in. That's why we fucking tried to attempt a coup. And they're trying to make like Ashley Babbitt there, George Floyd. It's all just fucking cringe. Been beating games like crazy this year, and we're only 6 days in. I got a 12-inch Link figure off eBay. That's cool. I don't have well, I guess amiibos do count as figurines. I have, like, 3 amiibos somewhere. I don't even know where they are. Remember the amiibo craze, like, what, 8 years ago? 9 years ago? Around the time amiibos first came out, everyone was fucking buying them up like crazy, and you couldn't find them anywhere. God. For a moment, I thought that's a 20-inch link finger. Uh, Shalong. 'Kay. Your mom blamed the Capitol riots on Antifa. Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of right-wingers do, because anything bad that a right-winger does, it's actually at the fault of the left. Oh, it was Antifa, it was actually a leftist who, uh, did things like break into Nancy Pelosi's house. Remember that conspiracy theory a few years not a few years ago, a few months ago? It was actually Paul Pelosi's, gay lover or some shit, like, they will make up any conspiracy to try to deflect the blame from themselves. It's just fucking it's fucking insane. Same thing when, someone called in a bomb threat to that Boston Children's Hospital, after all the fucking misinformation that people like Libs of TikTok and, Matt Walsh spewed in regards to that children's hospital. And then after that happened, "Oh, it has nothing to do with the rhetoric we've been pushing. It was actually a leftist who did it." Like, fucking it's like they're fucking five-year-olds, can't take the blame for anything. Always gotta blame someone else. Mhm. Oh, yeah. Courtesy of someone from my Discord server who just posted this a few minutes ago. Shock leak. James Charles is back at flirting and making straight men uncomfortable. The alleged screenshots reveal the benefits of being his boyfriend. In one text, James says, "It's really a lucrative role," and James used Instagram's vanish mode to attempt to prevent the leak. I actually saw, uh, Ethan Klein an Eth a video by Ethan Klein about this topic, like, last night. I'm not really surprised at all that James Charles is still a fucking creep. People like this tend to not learn their lesson. I mean, look at EDP. Fucking nearly 2 years later since that sting up, he's still running around trying to get into the pants of underage girls. He didn't learn anything at all. Most of these predators don't. These fucking texts he sent this dude. It's really a lucrative role. It's called My Boyfriend. Requirements: you have to be 6'2", must love escape rooms and horror movies and cuddling, big dick, armpit hair, and an occasional FaceTime call. Yeah, this dude is totally fucking weird. I think I called it too. I think I said in the video that he's not gonna learn his lesson, and we're probably gonna hear about this again. You shall call me Nostradamus. How about this fucking discourse among the online left about how the left should, focus well, no it should at least, address men's issues more. I talked about this in a video yesterday, but, you know, why not brush up on it again for a little bit? I think it's all just fucking stupid. I think it's just something so obvious, appeal more to the guys that are being sucked into the manosphere, you know? But for whatever reason, the left is so opposed to that because of stupid purity testing bullshit. Like, I understand not wanting to associate with someone who makes you uncomfortable. I'm not gonna force anyone. I'm not gonna say anyone has to associate with people who make them uncomfortable. It's your life. You choose who you associate with, but when it comes to but that's only with, like, friend groups. When it comes to, like, broader movements, like, say, the left as a whole, it shouldn't be treated as a fucking social club that only, like, a select few are allowed to be in. Like, oh, you may have a problematic past, you may have said slurs in the past, or you may have had, unsavory opinions in the past, like, you listen to people like Andrew Tate and you were a misogynist for a point in your life, you know? If someone made a genuine attempt to unlearn, you know, beliefs like that and actions like that, I don't see why they should necessarily be shunned away. Like, I'm an example of that. You can go in my Discord server right now, and, you'd find me saying slurs out the ass. I deleted every instance of me saying the N word. That was probably the most egregious, but, you type in, like, the R word or hell, I was even joking about anti-Semitism back then. Type in the word Jew, and you'll find a lot of, like, really yikesy jokes. Of course, I didn't believe I wasn't a Nazi or anything, but I just thought that was, funny and edgy back then. I just probably gave someone ammo right now if they ever wanna make, like, a Mikey exposed video or something. But no, really. I think it's just a dumb mindset to have, you know, treating a whole, you know, movement like it's just a fucking exclusive club. But anyways, I already talked about this in my previous video, so no need to really go that in depth over it, go that in depth on it here. Some right wingers called James Charles a freak for being a makeup artist. Well, that's the wrong reason to hate him. He's gay, he does makeup videos, that's all fine and dandy, I don't care. He's just a fucking creep, though, when it comes to, underage guys. Actually, I don't even know if the latest person he was creeping on was underage, probably was, I wouldn't be surprised, but still, even if this person was above the age of 18 oh, sorry. A little snort there. Even if this guy was above the age of 18, that is still creepo behavior to prey on someone who is straight, constantly pester them to be with you, even though they themselves are straight, you know? So that's just no, that's unacceptable behavior, you can't do that. But people seem to really just he always seems to bounce back, though, he the last time this blew up, like, 2 years ago, yeah, he was under scrutiny for like, a month or 2, but then his fans just kinda forgot. He went back to doing his makeup videos or whatever the fuck he does, and they all forgot. His videos still raked in millions of views, hundreds of thousands of likes, like nothing ever happened, and the same thing with, like, Shane Dawson and all those people, a lot of these big YouTubers get exposed for being creepy motherfuckers, but they never really face any actual consequences. Hello, guitar rocker. I don't know if I said hello to you yet, but hello if I didn't. I think men's issues are important since the patriarchy affects men as well in many ways. Absolutely. I mean, that the reason people say, like, they're alpha males and men have to be the breadwinners and all of that, all these stupid mindsets that puts men in a box. You always have to be independent, you can't rely on anyone else. That shit harms men, you know? They're learned to suppress their emotions. They're taught to suppress their emotions. They're taught that they can't rely on anyone else, otherwise that puts their masculinity on the line. Shit like that affects men negatively. It's not just women that the patriarchy affects, and I wish that the left would hammer this in more because, it's a common talking point on the right. Feminists hate men. They wanna take away the rights of men, when no, they fucking don't. Feminists regularly recognize that the patriarchy affects men too. It's really just, the dumb, neoliberal feminists just, try to make feminism, you know, female exclusive kind of thing, a male exclusionary kind of thing, but, actual leftist, feminists realize that the patriarchy affects men and women, but, I really wish more people on the left would realize, you know, the harm they're causing to the left by being exclusionary pricks and saying, "No, we don't need people like, we don't need people like men who watch Andrew Tate on the left," even though, those people are willing to, you know, make an actual effort of changing their mindset. "No, we don't want them." It's just so fucking stupid. If I'm being honest, forgiving people who once had terrible politics makes it easier for me to forgive people for personal stuff, because the bigoted political views have more of an impact on my life. Yeah. I mean, I used to be in that camp too. People who had really problematic pasts, I had trouble forgiving, even though I had a problematic past myself, so that's pretty hypocritical, but I tried to differentiate myself and say, well, people like Hunter Avallone are harder to forgive because he had a wildly popular YouTube channel back when he was a conservative. He probably inspired a lot of people in his audience to go alt-right, even though he wasn't alt-right himself, of course, but, he could have been the beginning of that pipeline for a lot of people. So his old content caused a lot of harm, and it did, of course, but, you know, Hunter has actually made, genuine strives to disassociate himself from that content. Hell, he fucking nuked all that content off his channel, and people still wanna fucking say he's a grifter? Yeah. I mean, 1, if he was a fucking grifter, he would still be a conservative despite, uh, despite his actual beliefs moving away from despite his actual beliefs not being conservative anymore, he would still make conservative content because he would realize that's where the money is at. 2, he wouldn't nuke his channel like that. He'd still have all the old conservative content up because I'm pretty sure YouTube doesn't like when you delete videos en masse like that, or private videos or unless whatever he did. But yeah. But yeah, bottom line is don't shun people who wanna make actual, genuine change to themselves because that helps no one. Not at all. It especially doesn't help, the left broadly because that just limits the amount of people who are willing to move leftwards, because if someone wants to, be more open to left-wing ideas and they try to reach out to people who are on the left for perhaps, more explanation of said left-wing ideas that they wanna adopt, and then that left-wing person or those left-wing people they're seeking out say, "Fuck you. You used to like Andrew Tate. We don't want you here. You don't belong with us." That is not gonna move them leftward. I know it's cringe to not move, abstain from a political ideology because people are mean to you. I mean, fuck, look at all the stupid "I left the left" videos, all those boil down to, "The left was mean to me, they hurt my feelings, so no, conservative." But, unfortunately, that's how a lot of people are. They associate a certain thing or a certain idea with the people who, adopt those ideas. And they're going to think everyone who supports said idea is an asshole, and they're not gonna want anything to do with that idea. It's very stupid, very tribalistic, I know, but a lot of people think that way. So I think if the left was a little bit more open to people who, wanna adopt more left-wing ideas, but they may still have some problematic ideas that they're still trying to unlearn, I think it's counterproductive to shun them away. Getting away with stuff is easy when you're rich. It is. It is. Again, just to look at people like James Charles and Shane Dawson. Hello, Olin. Hello, Video Bird 300. What's up? Nothing much. The only noteworthy thing I've done today so far is this, streaming. I'm sorry for all the light. It's actually a pretty gloomy day out. It's just the fucking webcam. The shitty webcam on this $1,000 MacBook. Well, I got a discount on it, but still. Actually, when I started streaming, I saw something new. My MacBook was like, "You can use your iPhone as a webcam." And I was actually kinda debating doing that because the camera on this thing is obviously so much fucking better. But then I was like, "Yeah, I have nothing to really prop this phone up on," and I really don't miss the days of when I would live stream with my phone and always holding it up, because even back then, I didn't have anything to prop this up on. And plus, you would see me looking at the computer all the time, and I'd have to always constantly switch back between looking at the computer and at the phone. Rather just use the webcam, even if it's not that great. Tate should have recycled his pizza boxes, right? Yeah, and he wouldn't be in this mess, even though I'm pretty sure the police department in Romania said the pizza boxes weren't the evidence used to, determine whether or not he actually did live in Romania. But it's still funny to think that, the pizza boxes and the whole feud with Greta Thunberg was his downfall. Yeah, Hunter's come a long way from where he was almost 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, yeah. That was around the time when he, uh, first announced that he was leaving the right? God. I think I still have that video up from around the time he, leftward saying, "No, we shouldn't forgive him, at least just yet." That was a cringe video. Maybe that should be, my next video or something I make in the near future where I talk about that video and how cringe it was. 'Cause I kinda like doing that, going back and looking at old videos and then trashing them in a new video, kinda akin to what UTF did on his channel, like, a year ago. And yes, I did kinda steal that idea from him. Boo-hoo. Craigslist DK Newies. I know DK Oldies, but I don't know what the fuck DK Newies is. I tried shrooms for the first time on Christmas, LOL. Oh god, how was that? How was your experience? I don't know if I'm brave enough to do hallucinogenics, so, yeah, I'd rather just hear people talk about their own experiences rather than experiencing it myself, at least at this current point in time. Noob. Damn. Going back to, 2009 with that insult. Hello, Robert. Hello, Tripped for Mine. How you doing? I don't care if someone has a problematic past, if they're willing chat move, wait. I don't care if someone has a problematic past, if they're willing to be a better person, I want to give them a chance to be a better person, so long as they're willing to put the effort in doing so. Absolutely, absolutely. If someone shows evidence of genuine change, I don't see any reason to shun them, like, none whatsoever. Cheeseburger goblin. The pizza boxes weren't the evidence, but it's still a very funny meme, yeah. Yeah, I heard that the pizza boxes weren't the reason, but that's still my headcanon because it's funny. Yeah, in 2020, he announced that the important thing to remember is that people take time to change and unlearn bad behaviors. Yeah, and I remember around the time he made that change, he was still making, like, the anti-feminist videos, and I was like, "See, he didn't change." But, you know, now I know that, you know, unlearning your, you know, previous harmful, beliefs and behavior takes time, and even Hunter himself, I'm pretty sure said, you know, it still took time even after he made that video announcing he was leaving the right to completely leave behind a lot of his problematic beliefs, because that shit is a process. You don't change your political ideology on a whim like that, especially when you're an adult. But as an aside, how the fuck is 2023 years ago now? What the fuck? And it also dawned on me, 2013 is 10 years ago now. I was in 6th grade and 7th grade in that year, and I remember that year clearly. It doesn't feel that long ago at all, god. My dose wasn't heavy, but I saw geometry and colors were saturated, and I felt a slight feeling of euphoria. Don't remember how long it lasted, but it definitely was something. So, you didn't have the life-changing experience that some people say they have when they're under the influence of hallucinogenic. The algorithm chose me. Well, if it did, I'd have way more than 7 people watching right now, but still, thank you, algorithm, for at least pointing 1 person to this stream. It's like a tradition in these streams. I always get at least 1 person saying, "Why the fuck was this recommended to me?" I'm not even subscribed to you, or, you know, "Who are you?" or things like that. I guess YouTube really likes it when I live stream because it promotes my streams to people who never even watched me or just watched 1 video of mine at one point, and then they forgot about me, and then my stream pops up in the recommendation feed. It's either streams or shorts YouTube really likes, especially the shorts. I mean, Jesus, I made a fucking Andrew Tate short just a just a few nights ago, and, that shit is already at over 1,000 views. It got over 1,000 views in, like, less than 24 hours of being uploaded. Maybe it's a sign, maybe I should shift my content over to short, ditch traditional. No, I'm not doing that. Don't worry. It's tripped anime with A being a 4. Oh, stupid. Hello, Foxy. Yeah, it's wild, crazy to think I've been here for 3 years now. Yeah, that's true. Me and you started talking in UTF's 3rd or 4th server. I think it was 3rd, and he made that server back in, I think, really late 2019, like November, December. Another live stream tradition, my uncle talking really loud on the phone in the right next to mine. I don't know if the computer picks that up, though, I don't know. Happy New Year to you, Foxy. Have I played Oculus Quest 2? No. I don't yeah, that's the headset. I don't really care for VR stuff. Maybe I'm missing out, I don't know, but I don't care for VR stuff. Not even Resident Evil 4 on VR entices me to play on VR. That game doesn't move me over. I don't know if anything will. Hyped for the remake, by the way. Uh, yeah, I can't believe 2020 was 3 years ago. Yeah, the fucking pandemic is gonna be 3 years old soon, if we're even really still in a pandemic. A lot of people say it's over, and COVID is far from over, mm, but yeah, it's crazy to think all the, the 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 lockdowns and all that, it's gonna be 3 years ago soon. You ever hear of DMHP3? Uh, oh, yeah. The yeah, I've heard of it, yeah. Just looking it up, familiar with and stuff. The YouTube Shorts algorithm is wild. Started posting shorts daily for sharp 30 0. I just call him Shark, and it's led to an uptick in views and subs for the channel. Yeah, that's not why I got into the shorts game. I just was like, "Eh, if posting shorts on this channel would allow me to just, post shit posts or talk about topics that, I don't think really deserve the usual 5, 6, 7, 8-minute long video, you know? Like my Andrew Tate short from the other day, me reading that stupid tweet, I didn't have really anything to say that would, manifest itself into a 5-minute long video or whatever. I just wanted to make fun of that tweet for, like, 30 seconds, and if it weren't for the shorts, for the shorts feature on YouTube, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So, YouTube Shorts just, allows me to, upload little shit posts onto this channel, and honestly, it's fun. I don't care if people don't like it. No one has told me they don't like it, but, if there's anyone out there who doesn't like it, too fucking bad. I like doing them. I still don't really like shorts. I don't watch them. I don't like the video player for shorts because, there's no progress bar. Uh-oh. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while you're trying to reconnect. Did the stream go down for anyone? Uh-oh. Anyway, yeah, I don't really watch the shorts, but making shorts, it's kind of fun. I wouldn't call it over, but the severity of COVID has at least lessened, which is good. Hopefully, it stays that way. I mean, I've been hearing some stuff about, I've been hearing some, stuff about a new variant apparently floating around. Haven't really looked into the details yet, though. 2022 was a sad year for me. My grandmother died. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Horrible. I very much know the pain. I lost my grandmother in 2020. But for me personally, 2022 was just kind of an eh year. Nothing really noteworthy happened. 2022 was the worst year of my life. A lot of bad things happened. I'm really sorry to hear that. Stream paused. Yeah, it paused. Well, if it just paused, whatever. As long as the stream didn't like my phone. I think I lost internet connection for a little bit, and then the stream said, "Oh, stream ended," and then everyone fucking left. Even though I wasn't done streaming yet, I think I had to start a whole new stream. One thing I will say is that the shorts attract a lot of really stupid people, but even if that's the case, it still attracts more people who aren't complete morons. Yeah, I can attest to that. I mean, going back to the Andrew Tate short I made just a few nights ago, look at the comment section, like, pretty much all of it is just stupid tater tots in it. Mainly because, shorts is just bottom of the barrel content, if you're speaking honestly. I mean, who's the main demographic for shorts? Like 13-year-olds? So obviously they're not gonna attract the smartest people with shorts, usually. Mega cringe, what is YouTube shorts are like good ADHD content. Yeah. I usually just watch shorts from, like, content creators I watch. I don't really look at the shorts, section on the YouTube homepage because a lot of the times it's from people I don't even know, and usually it's, like, re-uploads from TikTok and like, right here, YouTube Shorts. First short to pop up is, uh, Michael Reeves. I don't even know what the fuck that is. So glad she changed her mind. Heels break when puppet takes up. Yeah. I either watch shorts that, again, are from content creators I like, or if it's like a video of a cat, because cat videos are like my weakness. Those are the best shorts. I had COVID in July 2022. It was pretty nasty stuff. Yeah, my uncle got COVID just a few months ago. He didn't get it that bad, but it was still pretty it still, wasn't it still wasn't a pleasant experience for him at all, but thankfully he never, like, ended up in the hospital or anything. He got the Oculus for Christmas 2022. Well, enjoy it. Again, I don't really care for VR, but if you like it, more power to you. Enjoy your Oculus. Hello, big guy 45. How are you doing today? Oh god, I can't believe I didn't say this at the beginning of the stream, but, thank you to everyone who, you know, commented and told me how much you could relate to, my video about me, coming out and saying I have autism. Really, really happy with the reception that video got. Kind of afraid of uploading it at first because I didn't know how people would take me saying, I didn't say I had autism for years on this channel, and, I kind of feel ashamed or, have still, like, have internalized ableism and all that. But no, people said they could relate to that. They really appreciated the video, and I like reading comments like that. Really makes me feel good about the content they put out in the world. I need more friends, both online and person. I think I'm good when it comes to online friends, but real life friends, yeah, I'm severely lacking in that. I mean, I do have real life friends, but I don't really talk to them often or hang out with them often. They all have their own lives. I have IRL friends, but they're all from college, so I can't really see them much right now. One of them moved to Colorado last year. It sucks when a friend, moves away. But yeah, even though I'm in college, I don't talk to anyone unless, I'm forced to. Like, we have to do group work or things like that, or have group discussions, which I always hate because I'm not a social person at all. But I'm glad that I'm growing my channel number, so that's well, even if somewhat slowly. Well, good luck. It's definitely a slow grind. Right now, I'm getting over a cold, but I still have a cough and some congestion. I had a COVID and flu test the other day, and thankfully tested negative for both. Oh yeah, my cousins got COVID again. Um, one of them is around my age, and it is her third time getting COVID. Apparently, I know that she got COVID around the beginning of the pandemic. She got it bad, and her mother also got COVID, and her mother was even in the hospital on a ventilator, I think. Thankfully, she's fine now, and she recovered, just fine. But but yeah, that was definitely really scary. God, imagine getting COVID 3 times, and I haven't even got it once. 3 years into this pandemic, and I still haven't gotten COVID. Even when I was really sick just a few months ago in November, I that wasn't COVID. I just got a really bad fever. I don't know what all that random text is, but whatever. Funny how you earned so many subs due to that vid. I know which video you're talking about. If you want to gain subs really quickly, put the word porn and X videos in your title. You earn a lot of subs, but none of them will watch your other content. I loved your YouTube 22. Where I know what video I'm talking about. My worst YouTubers of 2022 list. I'm happy with how that video came out. I'm always happy with how those videos come out because those videos aren't hard to make, of course, but they're definitely the longest. They're definitely the videos I take the most time on. The YouTube, the worst YouTubers of 2022 video took me like I think a week and a half to make, and I made that I made that back when I was doing my finals too. So I was busy with finals. I was making that video. God, I never got COVID. I do, however, have some anxiety and depression, unfortunately. Don't we all in these days? No, really, yeah, I can relate. I'm 49 away from 1K, so yeah, that's exciting. I just keep the grind going. Well, cool. I remember back when I first hit 1,000 subs. That was really exciting. Oh God, that was back in what, 2016, 2017. I made a video back when I hit 1,000 subs. Let me check the date of it. 1,000 subscribers. That was uploaded May 26th, 2017. So almost 6 years ago now. I hit 1,000 subs. Can you believe 2017 is 6 years ago now, by the way? God, that blows my mind just as much as thinking that, 2013 is 10 years ago now. Did I mention my mom enjoyed your Kanye West video? Yeah, I remembered someone mentioning to me that they showed their mom or whatever a video of mine and they enjoyed it. That's cool to hear. I don't know how many people show their parents my videos. It's or I don't really hear anyone telling me about how they showed another person in general my videos. So that's cool to hear. I hit 1K subs on my old channel in 2013. Took me 2 years to get that again when I started back up in 2020. Yeah, your channel's growing pretty quick, I think, right? You had that viral hit with the Jordan Peterson video. You're probably gonna pass me in a few years' time, the rate you're growing. My channel's stagnant, and that's fine. I don't really care. 2017 was the best year of my life. Life was so much more simple back then. 2017 was a great year for me too, but I talk about that a lot, so I won't harp about that too much again. To just spare you of the boredom of me talking again about how much 2017 was great. But yeah, it very much was a very good year for me. I didn't hear of this new YouTube rule about playlists. That's I don't know the specifics, of course, because I'm just hearing about it now, but that might be a little concerning considering I have a playlist that I regularly update. The favorites playlist. It's pretty much my substitute for the liked videos playlist. Back when YouTube, they didn't take that away, but they forced it to be private for whatever reason, like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. 2016 was 7 years ago. Yeah. I remember thinking it was so crazy that 2016 was 6 years ago last year. Now it's 7 years ago. I don't know where time goes. If I posted more content, I'd probably get more subs, but I don't care that much, and I'm also busy with other stuff nowadays. Yeah, I know. I figured you don't just spend all day making videos, but you know, I'm just saying, you know, time just keeps on flying by. It does. It's uh, it's weird. Sometimes I come across these old videos I make, and I'm like, it really doesn't feel like I made this video like 7 or 8 years ago now. These videos still seem so recent. 2016 YouTube's best year. That's the year that Leafy and all those fucking people were popular, right? Yeah, that's a point against 2016 YouTube for me. I spend all day making videos, but for other people because I get paid to do so. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily your job or more just a side hustle. I don't know if you have like you know, a full-time job that you also have. But yeah, that's good. Making money editing for other YouTubers. I do all my own editing. I'm sure it shows. I'm pretty fucking illiterate when it comes to like editing videos or whatever the fuck. Maybe illiterate's the wrong word. Just I'm not good at it. That's what I'm trying to get at. But that's fine. The kind of content I make, it doesn't need like any flashy editing or anything like that. The algorithm is what's tricky. Even with my 900 plus subs, I still get hardly any views on my videos. Yeah, that subscriber count doesn't really mean much if people aren't tuning in to watch your videos. Like, hey, look at my channel. I have over 7,000 subscribers, and yet I usually crack like what, 150 to 300 views a video. I'm thankful for whoever tunes in and watches my content. It doesn't really matter that much to me, but there are channels with way less subscribers than I, and they kick my ass in terms of, the amount of views their videos regularly get. Like I've seen channels with like a couple of hundred subs routinely get like 1,000 to 3,000 views a video. But whatever. I noticed that's sometimes like the cringe drama channels, and it's really no wonder how those channels get views because they're always fucking shit talking another YouTuber, which I plan on not doing. Or at least, not doing with the YouTubers that are around my size. I'm not one to really pick beef with people like channels like those are. I liked early 2010s YouTube a lot. It was really a different time for YouTube. Sometimes go back and watch the videos I used to watch back in the day. Videos that were popular back then, but no one gives a fuck about now. Like Annoying Orange, remember that? Used to watch that religiously when I was like 10 years old. 2009 and very early 2010s YouTube is really fun. Yeah, I remember those times. Only issue is demonetization with content, which can negatively impact my ability to make money. That's why I don't enable monetization for my videos, because I know my shit would get demonetized in a fucking instant because, I curse a lot. And apparently, I watched Penguin Zero's videos on this subject. Apparently, YouTube is going to be even more strict when it comes to demonetization and swearing. Even if you say like, I don't know, ass or something, your video will get instantly demonetized or whatever. Or if you're playing a gory video game, even your content gets demonetized. So it's not even just with swearing. It's bullshit, and bullshit that I'd rather not deal with. So this channel will remain not monetized because it will not be lucrative in the least bit. One, because of the views it gets, and two, again, I fucking curse like a sailor in my videos. So yeah, and I don't plan on changing that. YouTube would have to actually terminate my channel before I would even consider changing that. But then at that point, I couldn't change because then my channel would be gone. Whatever. I admire how you've grown, so congrats and cheers to that. Thank you. I know you're a longtime viewer because your name is similar to a channel that used to comment on my videos a lot years ago. So, yeah, you've definitely seen how much I've grown throughout the years. if I even have grown that much. Off topic, but anybody here like vinyl records? That's my speciality. Before the GameCube, my special interest was vinyl records. I used to be obsessed with vinyl records, like really, really, you know, interested. That was my that was the focus that my autism wanted to pay attention. That was what my autism wanted me to pay attention to a lot, like 6 years ago, 7 now. I was really big into vinyl records, like back in 2016. Oh yeah, Charlie the Unicorn. I remember that video. The algorithm was so different. Like it used to be so much easier to gain views and subs, though the number of likes I get per video is probably the same or even better nowadays. Oh, finally that came out. Ugh, been holding that in for a while. Another one almost came out. Anyway, uh, well, if you want, it seems like the algorithm much prefers shorts these days. At least in my experience, I wasn't expecting that one short to get over 1,000 views in like the span of just a few hours, even if it was from a lot of like Andrew Tate morons. But hey, they gave me views regardless, so I'm thankful anyway. I'll be back in a bit. Hold on. See ya in a few. Big guy 45s. Been collecting records for nearly 6 years now. I have like over 50 records now. Yeah, I was really big on collecting records years ago, but I kind of lost interest. I like game collecting now. I'm pretty sure video games are my new favorite form of media. It used to be music. I didn't give a rat's ass about video games for years at one point, but then the pandemic came and I had nothing to do all day but to play on the Switch. So, that kind of got me back into video games. Or that did get me back into video games, I should say. And it's been my favorite hobby ever since, just playing video games. I still love music, of course, not to say like I don't care about music or anything, but I noticed ever since I started, gaming heavily again, I stopped listening to new albums nearly as much as I stopped listening to new music I don't listen to new music nearly as much as I used to. Like I remember on the regular, I'd listen to albums I never heard before, or someone would recommend me an album, and I'd listen to that in a relatively short amount of time from when they suggested me the album. I do love that people still like vinyl records, though. Nothing will kill vinyls. It just sticks around. CDs didn't kill vinyl. Uh, Music streaming didn't kill vinyl. It's the old format that just keeps living on, and I like that. There's just something special about a vinyl as opposed to, just downloading a song or hell, even getting it on CD. I like that big sleeve. I like the vinyl itself. It's just something special when you get a new vinyl. You just get that special kind of feeling. I used to be into collecting music when I was 14. I was 15 when I got into vinyl collecting. So that was 2016. Well, 7 years ago. Need to get more soon. What vinyls are you interested in getting, Tam? I'm interested in starting a band called Kid Chameleon. That's cool. What kind of music? It's a lot easier to get quick views off shorts than regular content because people are more likely to watch shorts because usually they're like, what, 10 seconds long? It's easy, bite sized content as opposed to watching, a long form video. Obviously it's easy to understand why people are more keen to watching shorts than they are watching an actual traditional video. Even though I myself am not a big fan of shorts on this website, I can definitely understand the appeal. Our attention span is just getting worse, isn't it? Like you couldn't even fathom something like YouTube Shorts back in like what, even just the 2000s. Just need someone who can play acoustic guitar and a girl drummer. Why a girl drummer specifically? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I mean, there are some bands out there who specifically want uh, a female band member, but just curious. Like I remember in one interview, one of my favorite bands, the Pixies, they said they specifically wanted a female bassist because they were just lonely guys. And that probably was just a joke, though. I remember when there was a channel that pirated uploads of Pokemon episodes back in the early 2010s. It included two banned episodes from season one as well. I'm sure that I'm sure that channel's long gone now from copyright. Probably. Been a music slash game fan for years now. Yeah. My pastime consists of either playing video games or listening to music. My two favorite things to do. Oh, and making a video. Like that's definitely one of my favorite hobbies too. Been listening to more rap slash pop stuff, and not all of it isn't bad. Oh yeah, I'm not one of those people who says all rap is bad, all pop is bad. Not to say you're accusing me of being one of those people, but I'm just saying I really fucking hate those kinds of people who dismisses an entire genre of music because maybe the more popular stuff is shit. I'm not really that much of a fan of rap. I tried to get into rap a few years ago, and there is some rap stuff that I like, but I think it's unfair to dismiss the entire fucking genre because maybe the more mainstream rap that's making it to the top of the charts these days is garbage. Same with pop music. I'm back. I'm on my laptop now. I had to save my phone battery a bit. Doing these streams really fucking fries my laptop's battery. Usually, usually at one point in these streams, I have to charge it. They need to eventually invent an iPhone that doesn't require charging. That'll be a stress reliever. But then they can't make it so the battery dies within a few years, forcing you to get a new one. That's how they get you. Like my current iPhone, I'm rocking an iPhone 11 that I had since what 2019. Yeah, 2019. And the battery on this thing is fucking shit now. Can't even last a whole day. Hold on, let me turn on the light. I'm sorry, it's dark as hell now. Yeah, Alice in Chains shirt. It's a Joe R. Fly's shirt. My favorite Alice in Chains album. Technically an EP, but I still count it as a full length album. My rant on this country is one of the most brutally honest videos I've seen in my life. Which rant video on this country? You gotta kind of narrow that down. I have terrible ADHD, can't focus at all. That's unfortunate. I don't have ADHD. I just have autism. The reason I want a girl drummer is because a girl drummer would be cool and because of Scott Pilgrim. All right. Nothing wrong with a girl drummer. For as bad as Skillet is, their drummer was top tier. I don't listen to Skillet. I can't name a single Skillet song, so I can't comment on how good the drummer is in Skillet. Been wanting to make more videos. Imagine having an iPhone socialist. Yeah, it's what I'm used to. I've never had an Android, so iOS has just always been what I've been used to. The I hate this country video. This country is a laughing stock. It really is. Really, really is. Hello, Leanne. How you doing? I like some Beck songs. I never really dove deep into his discography, though. Maybe I should. I hear he's really good. Uh, the last album I've listened to was actually the Weezer album, the one they made for the winter season. For those of you who don't know, in 2022, Weezer made an album for each season, or really just an EP, but whatever. Um, one EP for spring, then one for summer, one for autumn, and just recently one for winter. I didn't listen to all of them. I heard the spring one back when that released. I didn't hear the summer one. I didn't hear the one for fall. But I did listen to the winter one because my phone told me, "Oh, there's a new Weezer album out or EP, whatever the fuck." And I was like, why not? I'll give it a shot." And I thought it was pretty decent. I've been I liked the spring one. I can't comment on the summer and fall ones, but the spring and winter ones were pretty decent. I've been enjoying the trajectory Weezer has been in since the Black album. Ugh. But I've already learned to not trust this band to fully commit to making good music again after they made Everything Will Be Alright in the End and the White Album, which are both fantastic albums, the White Album especially. And then they went right back to making dog shit for a few years. Yeah. You like some of Skillet's songs? Again, I can't even name a single Skillet song. I don't listen to them. I remember years ago, UTF or AEW or some leftist in Finland, whatever the fuck he wants to be called these days. But I'll call him UTF because I'm used to that. I remember like years ago, UTF said in a video that Skillet was garbage or whatever. I forget which video that was in, but that's usually what comes to mind when I think of Skillet. Okay Human blew my mind. It was like, whoa, Weezer made a really good album again. Oh yeah, Okay Human was easily one of the best albums they've made since the 90s. For me, White Album is still the best album they've made since the 90s, but I think Okay Human uh tops Everything Will Be Alright in the end. I think that's probably my fourth favorite album now from Weezer. That was such a great album. I want more Weezer albums like that. I like Whispers in the Dark, Comatose, and Lucy from Skillet. It was his Nickelback Sucks video. Oh yeah. Yeah. How could I forget that video? That's like one of his most iconic videos. It's one of my first UTF videos too. It was in my top it's in my top 3 favorite Weezer albums. Yeah. I don't think anything they will release will ever top Blue and Pinkerton for me. That's the same with most Weezer fans, I'm sure. I want to find a Weezer fan that says Ratitude is their favorite album. There has to be at least one Weezer fan that exists out there who considers that to be their best album. As wrong of an opinion as that is, I would love to hear their reasoning for thinking that, if they even exist. Weezer rules, yeah. It's hard to believe the eShop on Wii U and 3DS are shutting down in a few months. Yeah. And all of those games that were exclusive on the Wii U and 3DS eShops, too fucking bad. Themselves said they have no plans on preserving those games, at least in this current point in time. But I wouldn't be surprised if they. I wouldn't be surprised that they won't. I would not be surprised whatsoever if they choose not to ever preserve those games, because you know how Nintendo is with game preservation. Absolute fucking dog shit. They'd rather, give you games like, the original Mario or Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time for the millionth fucking time before preserving, a game that, didn't get nearly as much of, that's never gotten nearly as much attention, but is still really fucking good. Not to spit on those games, of course, but, give the give the lesser known games a chance for once, Nintendo. Give those games some attention for once. His videos on those are kind of shitty, but it's funny thinking about them now. What is Nickelback Sucks video? That video is a fucking classic. I know he'd probably cringe at that video today, but I still like some of the videos he made back then that he hates now. Like, I know he's embarrassed by that not interview, that debate he did with that Sean guy. But I sometimes watch the re-upload of that live stream, and I still find it really fucking hilarious. Even though I don't give a rat's ass about wrestling or even know anything about wrestling, but still, That was fucking comedy gold, that live stream. Pinkerton is gold. Yep. Not as good as the Blue album, in my opinion, but it's really close. Someone's out there who unironically listens to Ratitude. Yeah, there has to be someone out there, at least one person out of the what 7 billion, 8 billion people we have in the world now. There has to be at least one person out there who unironically likes Ratitude. Emulation wins again. Emulation always wins. His video was pretty elitist, to be honest. Yeah, it was, but it was still funny. I guess it's more of him treating his opinion on Nickelback as fact. Again, it's still funny, but it was elitist. I guess I don't mind that video so much because I myself don't like Nickelback very much at all. Like, I'm not gonna fly off the handle. I'm not gonna make a video calling everyone who likes Nickelback morons or anything. But I guess I find that video so entertaining because I myself don't like Nickelback. Like if he made a video that vitriolic on like Pink Floyd or something, then yeah, I probably wouldn't like it. But since it's about a band I hate, then whatever. The only Nickelback song I like is Rockstar. I personally can't stand that song, but more power to you. The only Nickelback song I like is How You Remind Me, because that's like one of the very few Nickelback songs. Well, I've heard my share of Nickelback songs to like give them an honest try like years ago. I didn't like them, but How You Remind Me is one of the very few songs that I remember, and is also one of their most popular. And I don't mind that song very much. Playing older Pokemon games and emulators is more fun because you can play ROM hacks and reuse randomizers to randomize the game. A few months ago, I was watching some Earthbound randomizer videos and Resident Evil 4 randomizer videos. Those look fun and frustrating as hell. Does anyone know that if you play a pirated copy of Earthbound, the game is like significantly harder, and it even crashes when you make it to the final boss and wipes all of your save data? Fucking evil. I still remember his video on Slipknot. Even though I liked Slipknot at the time, I thought John had a valid point about their treatment of their new bassist. Yeah, didn't Slipknot make their bassist play it in like the back of the stage or something? I vaguely remember that. I don't know. I don't listen to Slipknot. I don't really like Slipknot, so I don't know the ins and outs about that. But I think I remember UTF saying something along those lines. That's really shitty. What's also shitty is turning down Jason Newsted's bass playing on And Justice for All. I'll never forgive Metallica for that. Yeah, why are bass players treated so fucking awful? The Mother 3 fan translation also goes crazy if you hack it to remove the disclaimer the translation team added to the game. Why is that? What does the game do? Is that intentional? Like the fan translation team saying, "Hey, fuck you. We worked hard on this. At least to at least to play the game with our little thank you message at the beginning." Or I'm sure that's just the game glitching out. Maybe I don't know. But regardless, I don't care much about the drama between musicians. I only care about the music itself. Unless the drama is so bad that, it kind of gets in the way of you enjoying the music. Like, there are certain scandals out there that's made me not really listen to certain artists a whole lot, like, for example, the Marilyn Manson accusations. That's not really drama, of course, that goes kind of above and beyond drama, but, it's more in the scandal category, but still. Even 2 years later, I can't listen to his music the same way. I still listen to Led Zeppelin, somewhat regularly, but, when I listen to Led Zeppelin, I remember in the back of my mind, "Oh, yeah, Jimmy Page was in a sexual relationship with that 14-year-old when he was making these albums." If you hear a cat screaming, that is a stray cat in the yard. Well, we have quite a few stray cats that hang out in the yard, but it's just that one cat that likes screaming for whatever reason. He likes doing that at night the most. Or she, I don't even know what the cat is. I think it's a boy cat. Whatever. Bassists are the most oppressed group. They kind of are in music, aren't they? They're usually the most forgotten band members, unless they have a very prominent role, like say they're the lead singer, like in Geddy Lee's case. Unless you're Geddy Lee or Roger Waters or Flea or Cliff Burton, or wasn't Paul McCartney the bassist of the Beatles? Unless you're those people, you're kind of doomed to be forgotten about in a band. Well, yeah, if it involves pedophilia or sexual abuse, then that's a little different. I just mean personal grudges and stuff. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just saying there's certain things that there's certain things that can definitely ruin my enjoyment of a band or an artist. If the disclaimer is altered, the game prints garbage characters, and if it's removed, the game can crash and make screeching sounds. Wow. I heard if you when Mother 3 asks you for your name, and if you put hard mode as your name, the game actually does get harder. That only applies to the fan translation. I don't think that applies to the original game. But I'm a little bit too much of a pussy to try that because some of the bosses in Mother 3 is hard enough. Imagine some of those some of the hardest bosses in Mother 3 with like with their HP like doubled. Oh, thank you. You're gonna make a Beck video? That's cool. Oh yeah, Les Claypool and Lemmy. How could I forget Lemmy? I used to like Aerosmith, but it's harder to appreciate their music when Steven Tyler is a pedophile. I've known about that for years. That's always been kind of an open secret, right? It's only just now that he's getting sued for that. It's like Jimmy Page. Everyone knows that Jimmy Page was or still is a fucking creep. I mean, look at his current girlfriend. But everyone knows about Jimmy Page, but no one really seems to really, you know, no one has really condemned him that much for it. Or what I mean is he never really faced any consequences for that. I've seen interviews with that girl he slept with, the teenage girl, and she says she regrets nothing, which is fucked. Didn't Etoy refuse to localize one of the Mother games for some reason? Did Etoy ever refuse to localize Mother 1 or 3? I thought that was all Nintendo. Because I know Etoy is cool with stuff like the fan translation of Mother 3. I heard he was completely supportive of that. The Cyborg Drago was hard for me in my first time playing Mother 3. Oh god, I remember the first time I played Mother 3 on my phone, not this phone, but my iPhone 8 back then. I had the hardest fucking time with that Drago. But then when I play it on the Game Boy player, I have no problem. I don't think it really has anything to do with the platform I'm playing it on. Maybe I just got better, I don't know. Or the RNG is less is more forgiving towards me on my repro card. I don't know. But both times I played the game on my Game Boy player, I had no trouble with that boss. Even the second time when I played it on the Game Boy player, I forgot to even really hoard bombs. I only had like one bomb in my inventory, and I was like, "Oh god, I'm fucked." Because the first time I played it on my Game Boy player, I was kicking that boss's ass with bombs and shit. But even without the bombs, I did fine. Maybe it's because I also, opened up with uh, offense and defense increase moves. I think that's something I didn't do when I was playing it on the phone because I remember not really using those moves on Earthbound, and I figured Mother 3 was the same. But no, the stat increase moves are definitely more important in Mother 3. Yeah, none of these people have learned shit. They never will. People like even YouTubers like Shane Dawson and James Charles, they're still gonna fucking be creepy fucking people. Not gonna learn their lessons so long as they keep getting away, without any consequences. Oh, but they make content I like. Who gives a shit? They're fucking terrible people. With Nintendo, it's hilarious how a company can be amazing in terms of games, but one of, if not the worst, when it comes to actual business practices. The contrast is astounding. Yeah. That's why I feel dirty every time I buy a new Switch game. Emulation. I know. But I'm always a geek for playing on authentic hardware. I'm sorry, but anyway, that's why I feel dirty whenever I buy a new game on a Nintendo platform because the company itself is so awful. Like the actual business side of Nintendo is absolutely awful. But then I remember this also supports the developers who have nothing to do with the business practices of Nintendo. That's the side of Nintendo you should 100% support. The developers who work hard on the games for Nintendo platforms. Because again, they have nothing to do with they usually at least have nothing to do with the horrible business practices of Nintendo. They're the ones who made the games you really enjoy. It's just, the corporation itself, the people in suits that are really awful over there. Same with, most other corporations, of course. I need to keep pumping out the grind on over on my channel, lol. Well, good luck. I don't care if they make good content, music, or art. If you're a sex pest, you're a sex pest, and you deserve all the backlash in the world for it. Here's the thing, I think you can still enjoy the art or content or whatever someone creates, even if they're a horrible person. So long as you don't use their content as you don't use what they create as like a justification to say, I still like them even if they did this stuff, trying to just, be completely oblivious to the horrible things they did. That's when it becomes a problem. But if you can acknowledge that a person is bad but still enjoy what they put out into the world, I don't really see that as entirely a bad thing, unless, of course, their horrible actions kind of seeps into what they create, like, say in Marilyn Manson's case, all the songs he's made, that were absolutely depraved and, made specifically to hurt his exes, like that one song, I want to kill you like they do in the movies or whatever it's called. That was specifically about the X that came out 2 years ago. and said, Marilyn Manson was very abusive towards her. So, that's kind of why I don't listen to Marilyn Manson's music. I still do like Led Zeppelin, despite Jimmy Page being, pedophile piece of shit. When he goes, I'm not gonna feel sorry at all. Same with the rest of Led Zeppelin. There's pictures of the rest of the band with Jimmy Page and that girl. That girl never says that she slept with any of the other members. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but at the very least, they tolerated that shit. They were fine with him sleeping with this underage girl, so fuck them too. Don't idolize rock stars or anything like that. Their chances are they're bad people in real life. You can enjoy what they put out into the world, of course. You can enjoy the music they create, but acknowledge that they may be bad people. But yeah, as like what Guitar Rocker says, you can separate the art from the artist if at least in most cases. I still see people saying Nintendo wouldn't be doing bad decisions if Iwata and Reggie were around, but they were still DMCing fan games and made bad decisions during those eras. Yeah, because Iwata died and Reggie, not retired, but moved on from Nintendo. People look at that era with rose-colored glasses and say, "Oh my God, wasn't Nintendo so much better back then?" Like, no, they were still making awful fucking decisions. And in some ways, they were even worse back then because they had those dumb fucking commercials for the Wii U, specifically targeting little kids, these commercials with these stupid premises like, hey, mom, can we get a Wii U? But, sweetie, we already have a Wii. But no, the Wii U is entirely. I don't know what Nintendo was thinking back then. Like the creators program and content IDing Let's Plays. Yeah. People are more permissive of that era of Nintendo, or not really permissive, but people look at that era of Nintendo with rose-colored glasses because they embraced memes more back then. You had you had Reggie going out there saying, my body is ready because that was such a hot spicy meme back then. They seemed a little bit more receptive to the community back then. But no, Nintendo was shit back then and still shit now. The rock industry in the 70s and 80s was filled with pedophiles. Yeah, it was. That's why I say don't idolize these people because chances are they either engaged in that horrible shit or at the very least they turned a blind eye to it. If it was like their bandmate that was engaging in that in those disgusting actions, or or their contemporaries, overall, you can like the music they create, but you don't have to like them as people. Just curious, how long is this stream gonna last? I usually go until the 2 hour and 5 minute mark. So about 31 minutes more of this stream. If you're itching to leave, by all means, you can go. Not twisting anyone's arm to stay here. Wee poo, Wii U, more like PU. Fuck both of you. I won't tolerate any Wii U slander in this chat. I'm half joking, but I do really like the Wii U though. The Wii U wasn't terrible. Honestly, I like it, but it had its flaws just like any other console. Yeah, it definitely had its flaws. Uh like the Fisher Price tablet thing, the gamepad didn't really go over well with consumers. Didn't really entice people. I thought the concept was cool. It was a cool, precursor for the Switch's concept, but you know, it didn't really appeal to, you know, the broader gaming community. At least Lost Prophets told Ian Watkins to fuck off. They broke up, but they formed another band without Ian. Yeah, even though the rest of the band didn't know what Ian Watkins was doing, and they rightfully cut him off after all of that shit came to light, and they weren't involved with any of that whatsoever. It would be kind of hard to continue as Lost Prophets. That band's reputation was definitely tarnished, or at least the Lost Prophets name was definitely tarnished because people will associate it with a literal baby fucker. Oh god, Ian Watkins, what a fucking monster that guy was. I remember hearing that the police, when they confiscated his laptop, the password to access the laptop was literally "I fuck kids." That's how shameless the dude was. I don't know if that's actually true, but it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if it was. I do like that one song they did though. The one where he's like standing on the rooftops. That song I enjoy. I never heard that song before the Ian Watkins allegations came to light. I kind of felt bad for actually enjoying it, knowing how horrible of a person the lead singer was. But if you got to keep in mind, the rest of the band didn't know he engaged in that disgusting behavior, and they rightfully condemned him after they found out he engaged in that disgusting behavior. It's not like they knew the whole time, like say the rest of Led Zeppelin, and they were just permissive of it. They just turned a blind eye to it. But bottom line is, the rest of the band, they don't seem like bad people. I have never heard of Biohazard. It's a bigger question how the band members didn't know how fucked he really was. I guess they only associated with each other strictly, on like just on like, on the terms of, maybe they weren't actually like friends that hung out with each other, that knew every facet of each other's lives. And all they did was just, play shows together and record together. And, they didn't really have much of a relationship with each other, besides that. I don't know. But, I don't think that, just because you're in a band with someone, every single aspect of of each other's lives. I still like listening to the instrumentals. I still like listening to the song with the vocals, even if Ian Watkins is a horrible, horrible person. I just, always, it's always in the back of my mind whenever I do hear that song, which isn't that often, but I know lusting after 4 to 10 to 12-year-old children is disgusting, but I actually get physically nauseous when I think about someone fucking an infant. I don't blame you. That makes me feel sick to the stomach too, because it is fucking sick. Like, I don't know how depraved you have to be to actually find, children is bad enough, but an infant. Ugh. What's your opinion on separating art from the artist? I've made a whole video about that around the time the Marilyn Manson accusations came out. If you search up Marilyn Manson on this channel, then you'll find it. But the short and sweet of it, unless the horrible behavior seeps into the art someone creates, like for example, like what I said earlier, Marilyn Manson made music specifically to hurt the ex that he was with at the time that he horribly abused. That shit, bled into the music he created, so that's why I can't really listen to his music anymore without thinking about that. But if one's horrible actions don't really seep into the music, then yeah, you can separate the art from the artist. It's really a case by case basis for me. I don't care if someone else can still enjoy Marilyn Manson's music so long as they're not like, Marilyn Manson is innocent. I think he's innocent because I like the music he creates. No, no. At that point, you're just, wearing the fucking rose colored glasses and excusing horrible fucking behavior and, actually contributing to harm in this world. That's what you're saying. You have to be the biggest ghoul to be into that shit. I agree. There has to be a multitude of things wrong with you. Let me change positions. I'm uncomfortable now. Hey, you can see my Jar of Flies shirt. And then there's the idiots who think someone donating to charity makes them good and negates the heinous shit they did before. Yeah. That's what I hate too. Oh, but this person donated to charity, so please ignore everything else they may have done that was horrible. Like, yeah, they did one thing that was good, but how does that necessarily negate all of the horrible things they have done? If they have a pattern of, abusing people or doing any other horrible shit of the sort, they should be called out for it. Just because they may have done some good things in the past or contributed to some good in the world doesn't, shield them from any kind of criticism. Am I a pedo? I don't really like that you asked that question, especially after I went on a whole spiel about how pedophilia is disgusting and how child rape is awful. Timed out. Yeah, time out. Go into the corner with your little dunce cap. But yeah, that's basically the short and sweet of it. That's what I think about the whole separate the art from the artist thing. If you can still listen to art created by bad people, then fine. I won't say you're a bad person for necessarily, if you're just simply consuming the art that one creates. But it's a completely other thing if, you're a fan of someone and, you let your enjoyment of the art they put out into the world completely blind you from the horrible things they've done. And, you trying to just excuse the horrible things they've done just because they may have made some music or videos or whatever that you liked in the past. It is a disgusting question. I don't know how anyone could get the impression that I am at least pro pedophilia for condemning even after I condemned pedophilia for like what 5 minutes before they even asked that question. But then again, people say Hunter Avallone is pro child rape because he wants pedophiles to go into therapy. So maybe they're asking me because I said I was disgusted with more with a form of pedophilia than the other, the infant thing. Well, I understand what you meant. You were still disgusted with the notion of someone having sex with a child, but you also found, the notion of someone having sex with an infant to also be disgusting. Opinions on Stained. I know people who despise Stained. So I think they would even crucify me for saying that I only like one song, but I like that one song called, was it a while? It's been a while. Yeah. Um that's really only because my dad used to play that song a lot. He still likes post grunge bands from that era. And if anyone has a problem with that, I just say eat shit. It's not like I'm a super fan of Stained or anything. I can only name that one song. I have no interest in checking out the rest of Stained's discography or anything. Yeah, people like Shu propagating those lies can go fuck themselves. Like, God, fuck Shu. Can't believe I ever liked her. Like, I don't know how she can jump to the conclusion that Hunter is pro child rape because he says we should normalize pedophiles, going into therapy. Like, how do you jump to that conclusion? He never ever said anything positive about a pedophile acting on their urges. She said that maybe we should tone down all of the crucify all the pedos talk because that's just counterproductive and it doesn't incentivize pedophiles to seek treatment for for their condition at all. It only makes them hide in fear and perhaps even, pushes them to act on their urges because they're not receiving any help for their urges. But no, he's pro child rape. Like I swear to fucking God, some of these people just turn their ears off the moment Hunter, you know, mentioned the word said the word pedophilia. But just fuck Shu in general. That whole Balenciaga shit. The thing with the kids going to that pride show and they had a kind of sort of risque sign in the back that kids wouldn't even pick up the meaning of. Like there's way worse sexual innuendos in the cartoons that children watch. Like I mentioned in the worst YouTubers list, there's literally a fucking joke in Dexter's laboratory where Dexter hires a hooker. Is Shu gonna go on a moral crusade against Cartoon Network for that? See a big guy. It's especially irresponsible considering how big her platform is. Yeah. That's why I don't fucking buy that whole bullshit apology she made around the time the anti-LGBT legislation was made because of that tweet she made back last June. Because if she actually learned her lesson, if she actually did feel some sort of remorse over what she did last June with that tweet that blew up and inspired anti-LGBT legislation, she would learn to use her platform more responsibly. But that Balenciaga shit and her reaction to the criticism to the Balenciaga shit that she's pretty much kicked off. I know she wasn't the first one to spread the conspiracy, but she was definitely the one that popularized it. But, her saying, "I did nothing wrong and I'll do it again," just shows that she doesn't give a shit about, about the harm she can cause with her massive platform at all. I can't stand her. I can't stand her one bit. And I don't be surprised if someday one of Shu's moral crusades actually ends up getting someone killed. And then she could go on camera again and say, I did nothing wrong. That wasn't me. I didn't tell anyone to kill anyone. So don't pin the responsibility on me." God, I get all fucking fired up when I talk about her because I really can't stand her that much. Aaron Lewis is a bit of a country bigot. Yeah, I know Aaron Lewis is not a good person. I've heard little snippets of his country music. It's not good. So yeah. Yeah, she loves catering to the right. Anyway, I'm gonna head to the gym now. It was nice being here. Take care, y'all. See you, Guitar Rocker. It was nice having you here. And this stream is only gonna go on for like another 15 minutes or so, so you're not really gonna miss anything. Unless something absolutely crazy happens before the 2 hour and 5 minute mark. But I doubt it. Guitar Rocker goes gym. And encourage the cowardly dog. A guy asks Eustace what 414 divided by 6 is. It's 69. Ooh, someone should tell Shu about that. Damn, Courage the Cowardly Dog is fucking grooming your kids. It's a pro-gay song despite using the F slur. Well, I have heard pro-gay songs that have used the F slur before, usually by queer artists, which is fine, I guess. Yes, I do know that meth is prescribed by the US, and my laptop has to charge. It's giving me the warning. Yay, it's charging. Yesterday I had to restart my Mac because for whatever reason it wasn't picking up a charge. So how are all of you doing? 6 people here. Hope you're all doing well, taking care of yourselves and those around you. My Mac was frozen for a few days ago. I had to force a power off by holding the power button. Yeah. Haven't had any problems like that, but it was a really weird problem yesterday where it wasn't picking up a charge at all. I even used the charging cable for my DualSense, which is the same USB type as the one my MacBook uses. So and that wasn't working either. And I even used my iPhone the extension for my iPhone to plug that in, and it wasn't working either. So I knew there was something wrong with the laptop itself. Still playing Hollow Knight. That's cool. I've heard about Hollow Knight. I know you said earlier it was really good. Is it crazy that some people want to actively fight against free healthcare in America? It is crazy. They're fighting against their own best interests, but because they're spoon fed all this bullshit by the Republican Party and politicians in general, really, about how that's socialism, how you got to pay for everyone else's health care, which taxes. That is true, but but they don't mind shit like all their tax money going into exorbitant military spending or any of that shit, which costs a lot more than what free healthcare would in this country. They just fight against their own best interest because the politicians in this country don't want to throw a bone to the common folk in this country. They never do. They serve a completely different class of people, a class of people consisting of, you know, not most of this country, not a completely different class of people that we can't relate to whatsoever. It's so damn good. Cool. I know this is a completely different game, but I remember playing Shovel Knight on the Wii U. That was a lot of fun. I liked that game. I forget if I completed it or not. I think I either did complete it or was really close to completing it. That was a good game. Still no damaging RE4 on professional. Huh. How's that going? uh, I played professional once. It was definitely an experience. I didn't find it that challenging since I've played the game an amount of times that I'd rather not say on stream. But I know the ins and outs of that game at that point, so a professional run wasn't that bad. But a no damage professional run, oof. Oh yeah, isn't Resident Evil 4 turning 18 soon? January 11th, 2005. Damn. If the game were a person living in New York, it would be of legal age soon. It would be a legal adult soon. Wow. I actually do want to make a video, a Resident Evil 4 video soon. Maybe for the 18th anniversary. It's not going to be a video singing the game's praises or anything because I think we already have enough videos about that. And, other people have done videos like that way better than I ever could. But I think I want to talk about how the escort mission isn't bad at all and people blow it way out of proportion, including myself a few years ago. Tried to play Dark Souls on Soul Level 1, got through half of the game. Wow. Can't imagine doing that. You did a no death run of Undertale in 2016. Wow. I want to play Undertale again. Probably buy it on my PS5. I don't feel like playing it on the Switch again. I remember enjoying Undertale. Um, it's heavily inspired by the Mother series, which is a big plus for me. Of course, well, it's at least not better than Mother 2 and 3 for me. It's definitely probably better than Mother 1 though, but you know, it was still a good game in its own right. Undertale is pretty good, cringe fan base to be honest. Well, most fan bases are fucking cringe, or at least have, a sector. Most things have at least a sector of its fan base that's absolutely cringe. Is the Undertale fan base even still that rabid though? I thought that was like a thing that was big in like 2015, 2016. Back when the game was new. You'd hear a lot about how the Undertale fan base is so horrible, but I don't really hear that these days because the game is old now. So, it's not much talk about it anymore. I did get an official diagnosis for my autism back when I was really, really little, so I have no memory of getting diagnosed. That's why for a while I was just kind of in denial about it. I kind of figured I had it. No one really talked to me about it. I was uh I was in the big classes in elementary school, middle school, and high school, so I was with the normal kids, or the non-neurodivergent kids. I shouldn't say normal. I didn't even really get any special accommodations in school either. I guess they felt I didn't need it, even though I struggled so much with math. I never really got any help for that. Thank you, American education system, for, you know, really giving a fuck about, struggling students. I was diagnosed with autism when I was 5, but my parents never told me for so many years. Yeah, it's not even really a secret that my parents held from me. They just never really talked about it. I never asked about it because for the longest time, I never even suspected that I might have been neurodivergent. It wasn't until, I guess out of curiosity, looking up what the symptoms of autism are, and noticed that I ticked all of these boxes. And then I knew for sure because when I was going to therapy a few years ago, my mother mentioned that I am on the autism spectrum to my therapist, and I was like, "Oh." But back then, that was back when I was making the really edgy content, calling people autistic. So I figured it would be kind of embarrassing to say, "Hey, I'm autistic myself." Yet I call other people autistic all the time. That was when I was in like 11th grade, going into 12th, I think. Yeah, that was when I was in therapy, the summer before senior year and all of my senior year. So I knew. I just didn't want to admit it. And then I just kind of forgot. Not really forgot, but, just kind of buried it because, like I said in the video, you know, for all my life, social interaction has always been really hard for me because of the autism. So just kind of out of self shame, I guess, I kind of buried it deep within myself, and it kind of confronted me right in the face again when I got a camcorder from my dad a few months ago, and in that camcorder was a bag saying the date and time of my pre-K graduation, and that's when I found out the pre-K school I went to was a school for special needs children. So yeah, that's when I decided, you know what? I'll finally go public about it in the new year. And I'm glad I did, because a lot of people in that comment section can relate, and I really enjoyed reading all the positive comments under that video. Again, thank you. I said it earlier in the stream that I was really thankful for all the positivity in that comment section, and all the people that can relate, and the positive reception that video received. And I really am very thankful for that. Again, it was first pretty difficult uploading that video because I didn't know the reception it would get. I don't know if anyone picked up on this, but the title of the video was me kind of also making fun of myself because a few years ago, like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I would always say to other people, "You have autism. You're stupid. You're fucking autist." And I wanted to title the video "I have autism" to, for one, say that yes, I have autism myself, but also to say I, for so many years, was calling other people autistic, but in reality, I'm the one that has the autism, not those other people. Just kind of, poke fun of my past self. Anyway, with all that said, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you all for being here. This is a very fun stream, and I'll probably stream again in February. Um, Hopefully, I won't get deathly ill sometime in February, like I did in November, or just kind of blow off streaming in February like I did last month. Anyway, this was still fun though. Again, thank you all for coming. Um, New videos soon, I guess. Yeah, anyway. Bye.